Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Kelly Joanne. If you do not know who I am the founder of KJ Brand and Marketing Consultancy. I am a solo entrepreneur and a brand and marketing consultant. I'm also a triathlete. I'm also super into mindset. I've been working on my mindset and in sport for the last 20 years, been in brand and marketing for the last 16 years, and have ran my own business for nearly the last 3 years. So this video today is going to be a short one. Hopefully, I try and speak way less than some of the other videos I've created, but it's a marketing made simple for solo entrepreneurs video. So I work with small, medium-sized business owners, and I also work with solo entrepreneurs. And often what I see between both, more so for solo entrepreneurs, is that when they're starting their business or they are in flow within their business, as in they're just moving through the days, they will do a lot of things. They start mostly with social media, they start mostly with colors, and they start with logos, which is just a natural like gravitas towards branding. But there's more that you can do that sets those solid foundations. It's not an acronym, but the analogy, sorry, of laying the foundation of the house and all the stuff that comes up. This is essentially a video based on that. So when I worked in my corporate days to now, I realized that there are some logical steps that aren't too logical to people that haven't got a marketing mindset. And the steps that you can take when you're starting your business, or the steps that you can take when you are implementing a new service, or even when you're writing a social media post to some degree, or you're like batch creating your content or something like that. You can follow these steps essentially, and you can do it in a slow process, or you can just like whiz through them. So I wanted just to talk about three things. I've got some notes down here. Some three things that you actually need before you start marketing. So before you start doing anything, there are three things that you need to start doing. So if you're stressing over like logos and websites and Instagram posts, you just pause and then you start here, like just go back to this. So it's almost like a bit of a meditation in some way. Those affirmations that you can say to yourself in the morning, these are essentially steps that you can take. But before I get into this, I'll link in the description a 8-step guide. So these are the first 3 of the 8. The 8-step guide is a full suite of steps that you can take slowly or quickly to get your marketing feel more organized, to get yourself being more organized, but also creating some strategic structure around your marketing as well. And that's the aim of most of the work that I do with my clients or when I speak to people. Is there's definitely that feeling of doing lots of stuff and not feeling like we're getting any results, or being quite scattergun and it not being aligned, versus getting rid of that feeling. And the way to get rid of that is actually to think strategically, but that comes later down the line because we have to get into these habits. Okay. And that's what my 8 steps is essentially teaching you, is this strategic way of thinking. So let's get into the 3 steps. So if you are feeling, let's take a scenario. So you've started your business, it's brand new to you. I've actually created quite a long video, about 30 minutes long video, on things to do as a solo entrepreneur, things that I would recommend when you set up as a solo entrepreneur that you should definitely do in business and in marketing. So go and watch that video if you want to. But if you've started as a solo entrepreneur, a sole trader at this point, the first steps that I would recommend that you do is, number 1 is look at your brand vision. And by this, I mean, you are your brand because you're a solo entrepreneur at this stage. If you have a team of people and you're already, you've already got a slightly established business and you're looking to refresh your marketing in some way, brand vision is still really important and really essential. The reason for checking out your brand vision is essentially it's your vision. It's your vision of where you want to take your business and the future of your business. And also, from a branding perspective, you can control it to as much degree as possible, but your audience is going to have a perception of your brand. No matter what you do, there's things that you can and you can't control, but you can navigate it in a certain way. So, for example, if you have a vision of helping X number of people, 1 million people, or touching 1 million people throughout a 5-year span, that's part of your brand vision and part of your goal setting. Or if you want your brand to feel confident and calm and strong and aspirational, that's a brand vision. Or you might have a brand vision to be like nationwide or global or international, something like that. And then you might have a brand vision in the sense of how it feels for you as a business owner. You might have a brand vision on what it looks like and it feels like. So you're going to have like 10 out of 10 customer service. Your branding will feel calm and look aesthetic, or it will represent all of your values. There's lots of different facets of brand vision, but actually sitting back and being able to, and it feels like, so you're going to have like 10 out of 10 customer service. Your branding will feel calm and look aesthetic, or it will represent all of your values. There's lots of different facets of brand vision, but actually sitting back and being able to look at where you're going first and visualize it and really set that down, that is what you want to do. So this is really helpful. Say, for example, you've been established for some time and you're doing this marketing reset for yourself. If you look at your Instagram grid, is that representative of your brand and where you want to go? So if you want to be luxury, is it really speaking luxury? Is your grid really speaking luxury? Is the content you're creating really speaking luxury and who you are? So that's the first one, brand vision. And then number 2 is audience clarity. So you can't take the next steps. You can't create social media posts unless you know who you're talking to. And there's that saying that if you talk to everybody, you're talking to nobody. And that is definitely true. You don't specifically have to niche, I wouldn't say. I haven't niched down into an industry, but I have niched down into the type of person I want to work with. And that's not because it's easier for me as a business owner. It's because I recognize the feelings that these people are having, and they're the ones that I can help to squash, and they're the feelings that I can help to recover and turn around and bring in most value. And I also know the kind of characteristics of the business owners I want to work with, because I want them to be invested in marketing and want to learn it themselves. So I'm talking to that type of person that is willing to invest in marketing, full stop, willing to take advice and willing to learn. That's the characteristics and the clarity of my audience that I personally have. And then you step back and I can say, like I already have, small and medium-sized businesses or solo entrepreneurs. The industry isn't specific to me at this point. However, audience clarity is really important, because you can't create them social posts if you don't know who you're talking to and you're not tapping into their pain points or their feelings or their where they are now to where they want to get to. And your brand vision can't be executed until you know this. And you can't, the third step is, I'll give it away in a second, but you can't do the third step until you've done this step as well. So sitting back and really thinking about all of the like physical elements of your audience. So where they are located, what their potential budget is like, their financial situation, and some more granular detail like that will influence maybe your marketing campaigns, where you set your where you network, where you run paid ads, or where you do some, like print advertising in certain towns. That's quite old school, but you get my drift. But the main thing that you need to know, because of the digital world and the online world and the fact that we can work with anyone across the world, is how do those people feel now without your service, or without really knowing that you offer that service, without knowing you? And then how are you going to transform their thinking? What results are you going to help them get? But what does that bit in the middle look like as well? And then number 3, I nearly gave it away, is offer positioning. But so, okay, I'll give you a little freebie here. Obviously this channel is free anyway, but you know what I mean. I'll give you an extra little tip. Number 3 in my 8-step guide is messaging. Number 4, closely followed, is pricing and services, which is your offer positioning. And these 2 things come together pretty much. But also messaging comes close to your audience. You get how this is moving, right? Like, so messaging is really important, because once you know your audience, you can then craft the messaging, and you can actually talk to them like you're talking to somebody on FaceTime, a friend that you know, and you've got all the advice. And you can tell them, if they listen to this podcast or read this book or they went to these sessions, that they would stop feeling like this and then start feeling like this. But it takes all of this in the process for you to go to, and I'm going to hold your hand and do it with you. That's essentially what you're doing in your messaging, and that's why it's so important to know your audience. But once you've crafted your messaging, you can see there how like prices and services come after, and that offer positioning as well. So you'll be able to know what services to offer because of your audience clarity, and you'll be able to write your offer positioning because you've got your messaging in place, and you'll be able to talk about your services in a way that your audience is in tune with. So they're the steps that I would definitely take. So if you are refreshing your marketing, go back to this as a base. If you are looking to revive some of your social channels, start a new social channel, or you just need to stop for a second and get some organization in your life and get into more of a flow, or create a marketing system, I would spend the time, even on a weekly basis, being like, okay, yes, this week my brand vision is still in my mind. I've learned something new about my audience here. I'm going to tweak my messaging very slightly here, or test this piece of messaging out because of what I've learned from my audience here. And actually, my services, I'm just going to add a little bit in here. And my pricing, maybe I can up it. Maybe. So yeah, these are the steps that you can take before you're doing anything else. But definitely download my 8-step guide, because there's more. Obviously, I've given you the 4-step here, and there's another 4. So you can download it. It's like a worksheet, so you can scribble on it. So the 8-step guide also references the Marketing Confidence Club, which I run with solo entrepreneurs. It's basically a marketing consultant in your pockets, which is me. I will answer any questions that you have about your marketing in real time, as quickly as possible, as personalized as possible, to help you tick off those fiddly bits, crack on with your day, delivering your service, but while you're learning at the same time. And I will teach you elements of marketing at that strategic level. We do live training sessions twice a month as well, which are really fun. And we're actually, at this point in time, beginning of September 2025, we're actually going through these 8 steps in way more detail. The free guide that I'm going to link you to is in the club as well, but a very bulky version of it. So you get way more detail in that space, because I'm teaching you and talking you through it. So hopefully that's all really helpful. Please like and subscribe to my channel so you can get more videos like this. I'm going to be doing some more quick snippet, simple marketing made simple videos. And then I'll also be doing some insights into the Marketing Confidence Club and things we talk about there. And also on mindset in marketing, mindset in confidence building, in being a solo entrepreneur, and just business in general as well. So I hope to see you next time.